Does your ministry need to embark on a major capital campaign? And does the thought of planning one feel overwhelming? What if I told you it could be one of the most exciting and transformative steps in your ministry's history? Today, I will give you guidance on how to plan a successful capital campaign that inspires giving, builds momentum, and helps your ministry achieve its boldest goals yet in helping the community it serves. Yet I do want you to keep in mind that capital campaigns are most often very large endeavors that require a significant amount of time to plan, execute, and complete. Something I doubt that can be illustrated in any one video. However, in this session, I'll give you a very good overview. This is the fourth video in our strategy and planning playlist series. Now, by the end of this session, you'll have a clear understanding of how to launch a capital campaign, rally your community, and help your ministry thrive for years to come. And stick around to the end for a quick quiz. It will test your knowledge and help you solidify your plan. This also helps you retain this information and also helps with the algorithm for us, for YouTube, so that they share this video with other ministries who need it. Let's start with the basics. Capital campaigns are much more than raising a lot of money for a big building or a project. They're about rallying your congregation and your community to dream big and to invest in your ministry's future. Here are the three essential reasons why this is important. Number one, they unite the community around a shared vision. Number two, they fund a large-scale project that general operations can't cover. And three, they leave a legacy for future generations. For example, there's a ministry we work with in Los Angeles that started a capital campaign to build a new community center. Not only did they raise the $2 million needed, but they also increased their congregational participation by 50%, and they attracted almost 200 new families to their ministry. Practical step: pick a project. Take a moment to write down one big dream your ministry has been dreaming of. Think about how it aligns with your mission and how it can transform your community. Now that we've covered why capital campaigns are necessary, let's go over the 5 steps needed to pull one off successfully. Step 1, define your vision and your goals. The first step is to clarify your capital campaign's vision and to set realistic, achievable goals. Because without a clear vision, it's very difficult to inspire individuals to give. The 3 ways to do that. Number 1, articulate a bold yet achievable vision. Number 2, set financial and participation goals. And number 3, ensure alignment with your ministry's overall vision. For example, a church we work with back east started a capital campaign called Faith Forward, where their goal was to expand their food pantry and increase their youth outreach. Well, in a span of only 18 months, they raised $3 million. Practical step: create a funding timeline. Write down your capital campaign's financial goal and break it into phases, like the lead gift phase, the public phase, and the celebration phase. This will help you map out your timeline for your capital campaign. Step 2, assemble your leadership team. Your leadership team is the backbone of your capital campaign. And these are the people that will inspire others to give and to keep the momentum going. And here are the 3 actions you need to take to make this happen. Number 1, recruit influential individuals from your congregation and community. Number 2, provide clear roles and responsibilities like campaign chair, communication lead, or event coordinator. And number 3, provide training and resources for success. For example, a church we work with in Baltimore created a leadership council of 15 people to spearhead their capital campaign. Each member hosted a small gathering where they personally shared the vision of the capital campaign and personally asked individuals to support the campaign. It was very effective. Practical step: identify your first 5. Identify 5 leaders who can run this capital campaign. Schedule a kickoff meeting to outline roles and responsibilities and to share the vision. By the way, if you're interested in how the pastor's role and the finance committee's role can complement each other during a fundraising campaign, check out our video, The Pastor's Roles versus the Finance Committee Role in Fundraising video. It's packed with practical advice that will help you build a strong foundation for your capital campaign. Step number 3, build anticipation. Momentum begins before the launch of the campaign. Building anticipation for your capital campaign is critical to its success, and here are the 3 steps you need to take. Number 1, share stories of past successes. Number 2, use social media, email, and personal invitations to build excitement. And number 3, host pre-campaign events for key stakeholders. One Houston ministry hosted a vision night, sharing testimonials from individuals impacted by their last campaign. This created a buzz and ended up securing over $500,000 in early commitments for the capital campaign. Practical step: plan a sneak peek event. Plan a vision night or a sneak peek event introducing their capital campaign to key donors and stakeholders, and use visuals like renderings and videos to bring your vision to life. By the way, if you're interested in delving deeper into fundraising strategies for your church, group, or association, I'm frequently asked to lead workshops and conferences on modern fundraising for Black ministries. These sessions provide in-depth insight and practical tools to elevate your ministry's mission to the next level. And more importantly, we show what's possible to sustain and thrive within your community. If you're interested in me speaking at your church, association, or conference, our contact information is in the description below. Now let's get back to the video. Step number 4, launch with excellence. When launch day arrives, you want to make a big splash. This is your moment to inspire action and to set the tone for the rest of the campaign. And here are the 3 steps you need to take to make it effective. Number 1, kick off with a major event or an announcement. Number 2, share your capital campaign's vision across all platforms. And number 3, highlight lead gifts and major donations to inspire others to give. For example, a Memphis church hosted a Unity Sunday where they launched their capital campaign. They combined it with powerful sermons, testimonials, and matching gifts. By the end of it, they raised over $1 million in contributions and pledges in the first week. Practical step: plan your launch. Create a detailed timeline that includes announcements, social media posts, and updates. Be ready to share your progress in real time. Step 5, celebrate and reflect. Once your campaign concludes, it's time to celebrate and learn from the experience. And here are the 3 steps needed to make that happen. Number 1, host a celebration to thank your donors and volunteers. Number 2, share a campaign impact report with your congregation and community. And number 3, gather intel and feedback so you can refine your future campaigns. For example, a Chicago ministry hosted a celebration Sunday where they shared the results of the campaign and talked about how the money will be used. This ended up creating excitement for upcoming campaigns and strengthening donor relationships. Practical step: say thank you. Send personalized thank you notes to every individual donor, sharing stories of how their gift will impact others. And consider using video messages for a personal touch. Okay, that was the 5th step, but we decided to add a bonus 6th step: working with or hiring a capital campaign consulting firm. Now let's talk about a step many nonprofit organizations overlook or hesitate, and that's hiring a capital campaign consultant. These decisions can be a game changer for the success of your campaign. Why? Because consultants bring expertise, objectivity, and proven strategies to help you reach your goals. Now let's break this down in 5 different areas. Number 1, expertise in campaign strategies. Consultants have worked on multiple campaigns and have insights on what works and what doesn't work. Number 2, objective perspective. A consultant isn't tied to the internal dynamics of your organization and can provide unbiased advice. Number 3, time management. They can streamline the process and save your team countless hours. Number 4, donor relations. Consultants usually assist with high-level donor engagements, which includes preparation for solicitation meetings. And number 5, campaign evaluation. They help evaluate your campaign's readiness and to keep it on track once it starts. For example, we work with several churches on their capital campaigns, and we were able to show them things that they weren't aware of because they don't have as much experience as we did. They help raise millions of dollars during capital campaigns and do it in faster times that individual churches would do it in because they just don't have the experience, the know-how, or the tools to do it the way that a consultant does, because that's basically our job. Here are the 5 practical steps needed to hire a consultant for your capital campaign. Number 1, identify your needs. Determine your specific areas you need help with, whether it's donor solicitation, whether it's campaign strategy, or it can even be the feasibility studies. Number 2, ask for references. Check your consultant's track record and ask other organizations their experience working with them. Number 3, understanding the cost. Be clear about your consultant's fees and what's included. This should be an investment that pays off over time with increased giving. Number 4, ensure cultural alignment. Especially for Black ministries, make sure you hire someone that understands your mission, your community, and your values. Number 5, set clear expectations. Make sure you outline the consultant's roles and deliverables before you start the engagement. And here are 3 main things you should expect from your consultant to deliver to your organization. Number 1, conduct feasibility studies to determine your donor's readiness. Number 2, develop strategies tailored to your church's unique mission. And number 3, train your leadership and fundraising team. Now, here are the pricing details for consultants for capital campaigns. They typically charge somewhere between 5 and 15% for the total amount raised for the capital campaign. For example, a $1 million campaign may incur a fee of $50,000 up to $150,000. And a capital campaign for $5 million may incur a fee of $250,000 up to $750,000. So most consultants will charge you a flat rate, but again, it's going to fall into the same category of between 5 and 15% of the total amount raised. So that's the example I like to use. For example, a church in Atlanta built a $3 million homeless shelter through a capital campaign, and the consultant charged them about $8,000 a year, which came out to about $100,000, and it was a 3-year campaign. So that came out to about 10%. That was the consultant's fees over that 3-year period. So $300,000. And not only did the consultant help them reach their goals, but they also brought in new donors and also uncovered new foundations that now support that organization. And if your church is running a smaller campaign, you can still hire consultants to help you with specific things like the feasibility study or donor training. These cost between $10,000 and $50,000 depending on the complexity of the task at hand. Hiring a consultant isn't about handing off the capital campaign. It's about getting expert advice to amplify your efforts. It isn't about replacing you or your team. It's about giving you guidance. Wow, that was a lot. We went over 5 sections on how to run a capital campaign, and we gave you a bonus section on how to hire a consultant. That's a lot. Now we're going to go into our quick quiz as promised, and we're only doing this for fun and to help you retain this information. And put your answers in the comments below, and I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. So here we go. Number 1, What's the first step in planning a successful capital campaign? Number 2, why is building anticipation important before launching your capital campaign? Number 3, name 2 roles that should be part of your capital campaign leadership team. Number 4, how can you celebrate and thank donors after your campaign ends? And number 5, why should you consider hiring a capital campaign consultant? And thank you for watching this video today. Now, capital campaigns are more than just about raising money. They're about transforming your community and leaving a lasting legacy. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your community. And while you're at it, why don't you check out our next video, which is why modern fundraising is important to the Black church. It's a great complement to what we went over today, yet it's a deeper dive into modern fundraising techniques to help transform your fundraising efforts. And until next time, keep inspiring, thriving, and leading with purpose.